John Byrne with Poets and Quants.
I'm Sandy Kreisberg, the HBS guru.
Welcome to another edition of Handicapping Your MBA Odds. Today's candidate seems like a winner. She is a female, an Indian. She has a mechanical engineering degree, undergrad, 3.8 GPA. Her GMAT 710. She also has a graduate degree, I believe, in mechanical engineering as well, from an American public school, state school, with a 3.9 GPA. For 2 years, she worked for one of the major locomotive companies in the world. I'm thinking maybe GE or Siemens. And she now works and has worked for a little under a year for one of the big three automakers, obviously GM, Ford, or Chrysler. She wants to get an MBA, and she has identified a number of really top-tier schools.
What does she say? Does she say what she wants to do?
Yes, indeed. She has a short-term goal and a long-term goal. Her short-term goal is to move into high-level management strategy at an automotive firm. So she essentially wants to stay where she is.
Sounds okay to me. Yeah.
And her long-term goal is to become a strategy consultant and move to the tech sector, which you might argue, why shouldn't she do that right away with the MBA?
Aren't the CEOs of a lot of auto companies, isn't the CEO of GM a female now?
Yes.
Answer yes.
Yes, and she went to Stanford in their AMP program. The previous CEO of General Motors was a Harvard MBA. And that would be Rick Wagner, and actually his successor, his immediate successor, Fritz Henderson, also was a Harvard MBA. In any case,
how do you know
that? this young lady who
this is what happens when you're trying to show off a little bit with John Byrne,
who is 27, wants to go to Harvard, Stanford, Haas, Kellogg, or Columbia. What do you say?
Yes, 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 and yes. This is a totally impressive, consistent, screwed together package. She's female in the automobile industry.
Engineering background, obviously.
Engineering background. She's got very high stats. She's got a consistent story. And she's worked for a locomotive company. That's a good one. And now she's working at a big three automotive company, and she doesn't want to go into private equity. She wants to stay in the automobile business. Business schools have to pay a certain homage, is that the way? A certain homage to the big three automakers, even though they may or may not like them. They're here to, they're not going away.
Right.
And she's positioned herself as a progressive. What was her focus on? ZEV emissions?
Zero emission standards, vehicle development, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
So she's a progressive engineer who wants to pivot, transition into management. It's just a tight, consistent, attractive package. And we're back to the first rule of applying, John, which is?
Differentiation. No, do no harm.
Do no harm.
But in her case, she's got great differentiation because, you know, one of the biggest problems with engineers who are Indian are that they all look alike. She does not look alike at all.
I mean, for some obvious reasons, including her gender.
Yes. Yes, but especially because she worked in a locomotive manufacturing operation and now in automobile manufacturing. Actually, she did her internship at the Department of Energy on electric vehicles, which is another interesting wrinkle because essentially, you know, the automobile industry,
the hits keep coming.
The vehicle industry is basically at the very beginning of a major transformation in terms of alternative energy.
Yeah.
And so that's going to be incredibly hot. Tesla has been very successful. A lot of excitement over this new battery plant that they're building. And, you know, in the next 10 years, we're going to see incredible transformation of moving vehicles. And so that's a very hot area, and I think a lot of business schools could see in her background great potential.
Agreed. She's not interesting as an analytical case because it's so strong.
Yeah.
So the advice is do no harm on the application, and just position yourself as you have, and don't blow the interview. For Stanford, we might, since we've got a little time here, we might talk about how she might present herself to Stanford, or the Stanford first essay, what they're looking for in that essay.
I mean, what matters most?
Yeah,
and
what
why?
matters most to you and why. What they're looking for there, and we can expand upon this, would be not a victory lap, not a collection of best hits, but a kind of story about what's influenced you, what you've learned from mentors, what you've learned from people. It doesn't have to be professionally or automotive, automobile related or locomotive related. In the second essay, they're looking for the more traditional answer. So if she could execute a good Stanford 1 essay where she talks about what she learned from a parent or a mentor, and then what she learned from a life event, and how that's influenced her goals in a much broader sense than just professionally.
Yeah,
that's what Stanford's looking for. She's an interesting case.
You want to make sure they know she's not a nerd.
Well,
right?
She's also a case of Stanford takes people like this even if you don't do the essays well.
Yeah.
And to Bolton's credit, he's admitted that. He said sometimes we admit people with what we would consider, not the essays we're looking for.
What about her goals? Okay, she has a short-term goal, which you mentioned before, which was she wants to get a strategy role in an automobile manufacturing firm. Yeah, so she wants to move out of obviously the engineering space and move into strategy.
Yeah, well, you've got to say that if you're getting an MBA. Otherwise, you can get there are degrees for people who are technical managers.
And then of course, she wants to long-term work for a strategy consultant, preferably in the tech area, which she could do right now, actually, once getting her MBA.
Nobody. She could expand her long-term goals to say, I want to be an impactful leader. She could give your spiel. The automobile industry is changing. It's going to present, because of energy, because of electric cars, because of drones,
emission credits,
personal drones, right?
Car sharing.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Very exciting.
Driverless cars.
We got it.
Okay.
Very exciting place to be.
Biofuels.
That's what I got to put up with, Mom. Okay. Very exciting place to be. It presents a lot of management challenges. I want to be an innovative, exciting leader. I am heartened by the, CEOs in, what's the name of the GM CEO? Barra?
Oh, Mary Barra.
Barra, yeah. She could say that too, but that's just, the cherry on the fruit salad.
Okay, Stanford odds.
I'm being pretty easy on Stanford, but I got to say, people like this get into Stanford all the time. I mean, she's really solid, 40%.
Wow, that's high for the most selected school in the country.
Yeah.
How about Harvard? Same?
Same thing.
Yeah.
And the other schools, you just have to convince them you want to come. It's 50% plus.
Right. And that would be for Berkeley, Kellogg, and Columbia, 50% plus.
Columbia might sniff out this as why? We're a city school. We don't have much to do with the automobile industry. You don't sound like a Columbia person. So this could be a Columbia wait list. Prove it. Wait list, the Harry Truman wait list. Do you know that one?
No.
You show me.
Show me, okay.
You're on the wait list.
The great Missouri State.
Yeah, show me you want to come
me.
here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we think you're golden unless you blow the application, blow the interview, which we think is highly unlikely given what you've already accomplished with your life. So good luck to you, and for all the rest of you out there, if you have a profile that you would like Sandy to take apart, although he's been incredibly good today with people here. Just send it in put it in the comment section below, and we'll have a look at it. Meantime, good luck to all of you applicants out there.